Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président, un pauvre qui vote pour celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, monsieur le président, à l'Assemblée, il y a un vieux, vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un vieux, wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un vieux. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux, des vieux.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, once more, this is Maitre Mola Alex Ndiveli Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. I want to send my warm greetings to the beautiful people of British Southern Cameroon and the beautiful people of La Republique Du Cameroun. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to make it clear. There are certain things that nobody is telling you in the Cameroons. The government of La Republique Du Cameroun is not telling you. The poster boys, the house slaves from British Southern Cameroon that they are working with the government of La Republique Du Cameroun, they are not telling you. The fake presidential candidates, they are not telling you. I'm here for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it clear. There is no president in the Cameroons. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking since when President Amadou Ahidjo was there. They are not president. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something called political freedom and economic freedom. You see, South Africa, Julius Malema have got a party called Economic Freedom Party because they gave them political independence, but they did not give them economic independence. Ladies and gentlemen, La Republique du Cameroun is not independent. They surrendered their independence. And I'll tell you why. To govern a country, there are certain functions. And Ahidjo have never been exercising that function. Paul Biya have never exercised that function. And Ngongo, Chantal Biya and co, they say they are ruling Cameroon. They are not ruling Cameroon. France gave them a particular power. The powers, when you want to govern a country, the main function are what? To maintain law and order, to enforce law, to assist the people economically and socially. France have given them that power to maintain law and order, to enforce laws. But it's not as if they are maintaining the laws. They have given them the police, the bees, the gendarmerie to oppress their people so that colonialism should continue. So that's not governing a country. I'll tell you, the most important bit in governing a country lies with the economic, and France have got that bit. So they have distributed the power. They have given the power to the Ahidjo regime, Biya regime, and the rest. What do? They appoint unelected governors, DOs, they appoint bees, generals, police, or what, to oppress you. Ladies and gentlemen, the job of a police officer, a gendarme, a bee, a Republican guard is not to oppress the people. It's to maintain law and order, protect you, make sure there is security in the country. But the people are there to oppress you so that France should continue taking their natural resources. That's the aim. That's the independence that they gave you. La Republique du Cameroun under Ahidjo signed that. That is what they agree on. And that's why they kill people like Ernest Wanji, Nyobe, you name the rest. The Tumazan, they ran away, they were on exile. So that is what was happening. The people who were fighting for independence, they murdered most of them. That's what France did. And we are not independent. Taking into consideration to that, Southern Cameroon have been annexed. Who governs the Cameroon? It's France. And how do they do it? Ladies and gentlemen, I've talked about this several times. We do not have a central bank in the Cameroons. A central bank is a national bank that provides service for the government and commercial banking system. We do not have it. The central bank helps to control monetary policy, money supply, how to borrow or when not to borrow. That is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, no country in its right senses will give its monetary policy to foreigners to control it. In Pakistan, you have the State Bank of Pakistan. They are the one running their monetary policy. In Singapore, Monetary Authority of Singapore, they run their monetary policy. In United Arab Emirates, they have their central bank. In Kuwait, the Central Bank of Kuwait. In Saudi Arabia, SAMA, Saudi Arabia Monetary Agency. All over the world, countries that are developed, it is the country that control their central bank. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1972, France established a bank, Bank of Central African Republic. France, that's a very important thing. And the headquarters was in Paris. The treaty was signed in 1973. They signed a convention to control the monetary policy in Bank of Central Africa. France is in the Eurozone. The Eurozone have got a central bank, but France has still got Banque de France, a central bank that controls their monetary policy, money supply. Ladies and gentlemen, if you give a foreigner to control your monetary policy, it means you're not governing the country. The job of a president of the Cameroon is to oppress the people, to suppress the people. That is why we don't have electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, go and read the constitution of the Cameroon. They say the resources of the country will be distributed equitable in all over the country, the Cameroon. That's in Cambe, in Miami, in Bafut, in Oshe. So do they distribute the resources of the Cameroon equitably? Equitably means if there's reference hospital in Yaoundé, there should be one in Wum, Cambe. There should be one in Batibo. There should be one in Mundeba. If there's electricity in Yaoundé and Douala, there should be electricity in Balinyonga. There should be electricity in Guzang. If there is water in Yaoundé and Douala, there should be water in Marwa, Garwa, Gandere. That is what they mean by equitable distribution of wealth. There's nothing in the constitution that says electricity should be in a particular area or pipe-borne water in another area. The reason we cannot distribute our wealth equitable is because France is controlling the country. The same. The only difference is that they have put some African face in front. You think you have a president. You think you have a governor. Why is it that in 2025, we should be having unelected governors? Why is it that we cannot elect our mayors directly, senators directly, a list system? You don't elect people, your parliamentarians directly, you put a list. So these are anti-democratic principles that they do it in order to continue oppressing us. The Biya regime, the Aijo regime, they have always been promoting what? Apartheid, colonialism, slavery. It's still continuing in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain basic things in any country in order to assess growth and stability. Those things are being determined by France. When you talk about devaluation, I'm sure when I was young in Cameroon, we heard about, is it Baladje? He was talking about devaluing the France CFA. So Mr. Biya cannot say, I want to devalue your money. The person who decides about this is the French president. And what's devaluation? Reduction in the official value of a currency. They reduce your value of your money. It affects your life. So how can we allow France to be doing things that should affect our life? Do you think France will care about Cameroonians or care about French citizens? This is treason. The Aijo Biya regime, they have committed treason. And you know what is a treasonable offense? In accordance with the laws of the Cameroons. France determines our interest rate. If you are borrowing money, that's the interest rate is the lending rate. the amount of money that they will charge you for doing so. It's France that have to decide. If you go to a bank to borrow money, it's not the government of the Cameroons. They don't have a central bank. They don't have a monetary policy committee that they will decide. It's France that decides. A Muzungu, as you call it, a white man decide on how you should borrow your money or not. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to inflation, in England where I live, it's the Bank of England that determines inflation. In the Cameroons is France. Inflation is simply increase in price and the fall in the purchase value. When prices goes up, most people, they will not be able to purchase things. So there's inflation. It's France that determines it. So ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm making this party political broadcast today is to let you know, whether somebody comes and succeed and replace Mr. Biya, nothing will change. No presidential candidate is telling you, how am I going to stop that? When Maitre Mola Alex Ndivelisinghe called them for a debate, they are scared because I would tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about election. It's about a sovereign national conference. It's about an elected constituent assembly. We, the people, must come together. Don't trust any single person. Nobody can free us. The French people, they were free by the people, not by a single person. The Americans, they were free by the people, not by a single person. When you call those names you call in Cameroon, look at their CV. Look at Bello Buba when he started working. Even before Mr. Biya, he was there. Chiruma was there. Kamto was there. Akeremuna was there. All of them, they were there. They have been in the system. None of them have challenged that system. I'm not talking about recently. If you are above 70, when the country, they were destroying the country, what did you do? Ladies and gentlemen, Maitre Mola Alex Ndivelisinghe have often challenged the regime ever since I was young. I was still there in 2022, pointing at the dirty street, pigsty in the street, Yaoundé, other parts of the Cameroon. But these people, they sit quiet. If you cannot fix your bed in your house, how do you think you can govern a country? If you cannot say our streets are dirty, if you cannot say they are torturing Boya University, our lawyers, our teachers, if you sit quiet, is it when you be president that you start talking? No, you use the same gendarme and beast against us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about whether you're young or you're old. It's if can you deliver. Do you understand the problem of the Cameroons? If you don't understand the problem of the Cameroons, you think that when you become president, you sit on a table, you start searching for the problem. You will search. If you're there for 7 years will pass before you know. Most of us in British Cameroon National Party, we have studied the problem. We live the problem. We walk the problem. We suffer the problem. So if we are in power, we are not going to be asking people what is going on. We know we already have the solution. We have to be economically independent. We have to stop France CFA. And if they don't want to stop France CFA, we have different institutions. We want equal status so that La République du Cameroun can continue with France. Then British Southern Cameroon, they will have their own institution. We have different laws, different educational system. We have police. We don't have their gendarmerie that torture people. We don't have their military tribunal that tries civilians. We don't have their ENAM France CFA. There's nothing wrong with that. In a country, there's no one size fit it all. Scotland have got a different money, it's still United Kingdom. England have got a different money, it's still United Kingdom. Scotland have got a different football team, it's still United Kingdom. England have got a different football team, it's still United Kingdom. Scotland have got a different legal system, it's still United Kingdom. England have got a different legal system, it's still United Kingdom. So what do they want? Scotland have got different ministers, a different parliament. We have a parliament in London, Westminster. Scotland controls its economy, taxation, policing, judicial system, environmental policy, fishery, forestry, agriculture, you name the rest, taxation, policing, all of them. but they are still United Kingdom. Does it mean we must be forced to use La République institution that are archaic, Napoleonic code, civil code there from France? Must they impose it on us? We don't need somebody, a Francophone, to come and say, oh, I want to solve the problem. We are equal. We are equal. Ladies and gentlemen, tell them we are equal. I don't want Chiruma to come and tell me he wants to solve Anglophone problem. I don't want, is it Kamto to come and tell me he wants to solve Anglophone problem. I don't want Bello Buba to tell me, if you think that you can solve it, you think you're superior than others. No, you're not. We come as equal people, equal states, two people that came together, that one have been annexed. The government of Aijo and Biya, they are illegitimate. If Article 47 say, don't change this form of a state, they change it. It means the government is illegitimate. The current constitution, I'm not sure if it's Article 64, say don't change the form of state. You keep on writing things in the constitution, then you change it, you put another one, don't change it. You change it, you put another one, don't change it. You keep on saying that there's 2-term limit in your constitution for a president to stay in office. Then when it comes, you change it. So the constitution of Cameroon is useless. People don't even need to respect the constitution. It's useless. It is there to oppress the people. It's not there to protect the people. If a constitution says, don't torture the people, you torture them. So why do we need a constitution? We have the constitution. There are people who are above there. There are people in the Cameroons who are above the constitution. The constitution is useless. It's a toilet roll. Go and flush it in the toilet. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Maitre Mola Alex Ndivelisinge. I'm just here to tell you that no matter who they change, if we don't come out from France, we are wasting our time. And the people of British Southern Cameroon, they have got a right to exercise their Article 65 right, the right of self-determination. Why? The Francophones, they have decided to remain with France. We don't want to be with France, so nobody should blame us. Don't blame us. We don't want to be under France. Francophones have decided to be with France. So ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. This has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndivelisinge. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Abaissons le président. Assemblée, il y a un Dieu. Vraiment. Au Sénat, il y a un Dieu. Wonderful. À la présidence, il y a un Dieu. Dans tout le gouvernement, il n'y a que des vieux. Des vieux, des vieux. Vous appelez les